I'll tell you. I had a boy.
Oh, now you gonna preach to me, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna preach. And you gonna listen!
Oh, yeah, let's do some preaching. And you gonna listen. Well, you ain't gonna listen. I mean, if you tuned in, maybe you'll hear it. And if you're not tuned in, maybe you won't. So it's an early Saturday morning. I was going to do this on Sunday, but you know what? I got to get my day started eventually. Now, my day would be started, but some people in this house who use makeup and have to primp and process a little longer, well, let's just say it'll probably be another 2 hours before I get out of here. So I decided instead of, getting myself together with my 20 minutes and sitting around for an hour and a half, I would come here and dazzle you with the melodic, somber tones of my voice, which will probably, well, if you woke up, it might just put you back to sleep. And if you happen to hear this on the rebroadcast, then that's great. All right, so it is early, and this is the boring sector. Now, again, just a disclaimer: we say boring, but it's not truly boring. It's more like adult, mature conversation. The things that you don't usually get on BlackTube. Now, of course, here we have some rules when we're engaging each other during these boring sessions. And that is, well, we just don't drop names, of people. As a matter of fact, we don't really care who you got a beef with. So please do not jump up on the panel and take shots at your ops. That's the type of bullshit that you would do over there where you live. And yes, subliminals count too, because your ops are not dumb. They know when you are taking subliminal shots at them. So let's be adult, because you know why? We've got 99.7% of other black tube shows that engage in the effery. And we decided that a few of us, well, we just want to be adults and we want to come here and we want to listen. Now, there's not going to be a lot of attendance today because I understand that the boycott is in full effect and is in full swing, and you have been given your orders as to what to do. And that is, you better not drop down in these boring chats or anywhere else that you are prohibited to go. And that's okay, because I know secretly you're replaying it because no one knows that you're doing it. But anyway, so we started the show before. Last time it started out boring, but then it got a little exciting. We started talking about music and we had panelists, and things kind of went in a different direction. And so we're going to continue the fun here. Now, as a flashback, we talked about on the previous chat the Michael Jackson movie. I suggested that you all go out and see that great performance and such. And they're even thinking about doing a number 2 or another part of the movie to continue, because it kind of left off around 1993, I guess, or 89. I don't know. But I guess Jermaine is about to get paid. Speaking of Jermaine, wow, he's undergoing a bit of a lawsuit. Looks like he did some bad things, or allegedly did some bad things, and somebody got touched beyond outside of their will, and this individual is now coming forward to well, they came forward, in 2023. Brother Jermaine did not go to the court trial, and he basically, I don't want to say ignored the order, but he did not go. And well, let's just say that person was given a default judgment. And so now there are millions of dollars at stake, just in time for the release of the movie. Coinkadink? I think not. Now, that's been an ongoing thing, from people who have been assaulted, and they're coming out decades later about these alleged assaults, and then usually there's some monetary stuff involved. How I feel about that? Well, we already know I'm a man, so if I say, well, there should be a statute of limitations on things, women will get outraged and pretty much just rip me a new one. And I do believe, well, sometimes, let's be on. Can we be honest though? Yeah, there are actual cases where people are assaulted, and they should 100% be given justice. And you can't really put a time frame on it, but can we be honest, folks? Can we be honest that some of these people just pop up, are pretty much opportunists? I'm just going to say it. I'm not going to mince words here, because you know what? There's no, oh, well, 100% of the people who make these claims are all legitimate. And no, hell no, it is not true. As a matter of fact, speaking of the king of pop, good morning, Miss Murph comes through, because she is also my boring sister, and she's going to definitely come through and support, and I appreciate her for that. Welcome, Fufu. Hopefully everything's going well with you this morning and on this day. So, as you know, when MJ passed, man, a lot of people came out the woodwork to sue. They wanted, oh my God, they came from left field and right field. And the Casio family, who he was considered as closest to him as his own family, all of a sudden 6 people, including a female this time, believe it or not, suddenly got SA'd by this man who was living in their house. I don't know about you, but I think after the first 3 or 4 family members, we might get a little suspicious and render an ass whipping to the individual that was running around just grabbing people in the laundry room in the house or whatever was going on. So like I said, it's just, oh, okay, Miss Murphy, you're pushing it back till tomorrow. I don't know. Am I in your slot? Okay, I didn't check. You know me, I'm weird. I just kind of, hey, I'm walking past the studio. Oh, the microphone's on. Let me just go in and start yapping. So here I am, boring people back to sleep. So all of a sudden, everybody came out. They want to get paid. The Casio family put out. They claim they had 4 songs that Michael Jackson recorded at their residence in the studio, and They had this compilation album out that Sony released. And then guess what, y'all? The fans, Michael's true fans, came out and said, that is not Michael on those songs. I don't know who that is. Sounds good, but it's not him. And then Sony had to retrack the albums. Holy unvetted songs, Batman. But hey, it happens. So everybody wants to get paid. So now that the movie came out, there's probably going to be lawsuits kicking up again. Let me tell you something. Tell you where I stand on that. Let me tell you where I stand on Michael Jackson. And not because I'm a huge fan, right? My stance is he's 1,000% innocent on all allegations and charges made against him, right? Now, why is that? Because it's factual. Now, see, a lot of people, and you might know, because there are some people on BlackTube, as a matter of fact, will believe anything. Is it because they have facts, truths, videos, undeniable? No. They believe it because they think with their emotions. Now, a lot of times there were a lot of black folks who, when they first heard about it, he did it. Oh, he did it. He's guilty. Why? Oh, well, he deserves. He wants to be white, so therefore he must be guilty because, can we keep it a buck? And I hate to say this about my own people, but we have this thing, this crab in the barrel, and it's not even crabs in the barrel. Hell, it's more like, I don't know what you would call it. It's like we hate to see one of us be successful. Let me tell you something. I've never been more proud to have the greatest entertainer who ever lived in this world, well, as far as this stage of human evolution, to have come from my race. I'm never more proud of that. You know what I'm saying? Now, we live in life. Babe, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So we have this thing where every time one of us gets successful, or one of us excels, here comes the naysayers. They couldn't wait. Soon as the scandal dropped, oh, he did it. Oh, and this word I want to talk about that y'all use a whole lot. You say weird. A lot of you say weird. I would like for people to give me a definition of what does weird mean? Because weird seems like it can be applied to anything. You'll say, well, this man, he entertains these kids at his residence. That's weird. Or, he dances, he moves too light in his shoes. That's weird. We can point at anybody and say, that's weird. You really drive a purple car. That's weird. We like to do that a lot. Now, me personally, again, I get it. I understand. I've been on both sides of the argument about, you shouldn't host these children there. Oh, so what? You didn't have a childhood. That's no excuse. That's weird. Hey, look. But what's funny is after that first trial, these people came out and a few of them stated, oh no, I made it up. Like the one little boy said, my dad made me do it. I made it up. And then when he was going to go public about it, dad suddenly unalived himself right when the little dude dropped. Well, he was grown by then. But once he dropped the news, there was no apologies like, Mike, sorry, man, we got you wrong, whatever. My whole thing is if one of them lied, a lot of them can lie. Think about it. You're a child. You're in this house. An allegation comes up. Guess what? If it was 30 of you that were here at some point, hey, this is a time for you to get a paycheck because most likely he'll pay or he'll just pay you to go away. A lot of people say, why? Well, why did he pay the money out? Like, why wouldn't he just go to trial? Why wouldn't he, and all these other things? Why didn't he extend it? Well, a lot of you might not know during the, which tour was that? Was it Dangerous or whatever? The insurance company said, look, man, we can't have this thing go on. Like we're going to pay out through the insurance because we will lose billions if you suddenly start because Mike was like, F this, I'm gonna fight every last one of them. And they basically said, nah, you can't do that because we'll lose billions. You got to stay on tour. We got stuff booked, advertisements done, arenas. Sorry, bro, we got to keep this thing going. We'll just kick out some checks. Now, of course, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you go to court, you're already damned because your people are already, or the haters are already saying, you are guilty. He's guilty. Oh, yeah, he did it. Can we be honest, y'all? Can we be honest? For everybody that says that MJ was guilty and he did these things. Y'all was back there, yelling, jumping up and down and screaming that he finally got it and he hates himself and whatever. Let me ask you a question. If Mike would have, straight up told you, he needed, you some people in your neighborhood to come through and he's gonna give you, 1.5 million to come support. Yeah, your black ass would have been out there with a Michael Jackson t-shirt on and a glitter glove and moonwalking all up and down the court hallways. You would have. See, a lot of times we just hate because people are doing better than us. We hate because they got money. We hate because they have black tube popularity. We hate because they have real careers. You see evidence of that here a lot, but bringing it back to black tube. We gotta I'm not ish, so I have to take down people that is ish, which is fuels a lot of the effery that you see in our black tube community. However, like I said, a lot of people came out after the fact. I personally, I think Oprah did a complete betrayal of him, as far as bringing these so-called accusers out and all of this. But the funny thing is that all of the character witnesses, all of the family, the nieces and nephews, that corroborated a lot of the what didn't happen. It was utterly amazing. Now, see, I say this to the folks, and of course, they hit me with the punchback. Would you? So, I love it. Y'all think y'all so clever. So, would you let your child go over Michael Jackson? Would you let him watch your kids? Would you let him watch your kids? Check this out. I would not let any grown a man, you understand, babysit or watch or a stranger. Let's be for real. I love your music. I've seen you on TV since the day I was born, but no one keeps my children, period. My kids didn't even do sleepovers. I didn't play that. The sleepover. Yeah, let me hip y'all to something. See, that's where a lot of you go wrong with your children when you let them out of your range. I know it's all cute and everything. You're like, oh, they're gonna be pajamas. Man, let me tell you something. Nope. Nope. Now they can come over here. They can set their little blanket tents up and forts and boxes and popcorn and Mary Poppins or whatever. Are we there yet? Whatever. But there's not going to be any of that. So no man, do you understand, would be keeping, no woman would be keeping my kids. If this applied to an average Joe, what he did, we would consider behavior weird and give them the side eye. Oh, we would definitely. But you know what though? I would dare to say that we talk about now some of the stuff that he said, when he's like, well, I gave them my bed, I slept on the floor. Now, some of that is a bit eccentric, is a word I'm going to use here. Now, the flip side, the man went to cancer centers to visit dying children. I don't see a lot of people, I don't want to say celebrities, that do that a lot, that go care for the sick children and visit with them. And then, of course, you all know when he got burned, he gave all of the fallout money from Pepsi to the burn center where he was. A lot of charity, a lot of good things. Yes, it is eccentric behavior. Hell, who has a Ferris wheel in their backyard? I don't. Who has a llama as a pet? I mean, I could think of 150 things that this individual did that just seemed probably not what most people do, And personally, with all due respect, right? So the question, well, what if that was you? What if you had all this money? Would you have the kids over? Let me tell you, I wouldn't have done it like that. I would have had like unfortunate children that are, they come from maybe poor backgrounds, things like that. I would have sent them to like a camp, had it like chaperone, cameras, protection. I would have brought them together like that. Maybe I'll make an appearance, because unfortunately, in the world we live in, you have to protect yourself. And I understood where his sentiment is. Oh, I just want to, I want to reach out. I want to help these kids. I want to give them a fun time. And like, dude, no, you putting yourself in harm's way. Unfortunately, the world that we live in, that's not acceptable. We're not that evolved, what was this? My kids never spent the night out anywhere, but we allowed them to have sleepover at our house, or we would rent hotel rooms. Hey, hotel rooms, that's a good idea. I never would have thought of that. And then again, I'm cheap. I probably wouldn't have spent the money. But hey, I do get it though. Definitely in the living room. For one, too many people used to ask, can they have my daughters? And that was really strange. See, and Damu, we already know what happens next when baby girl come tell us something happened. We going to jail. There is no talking. There's no in between. Coming from a big loving family, we grew up staying at one another's house. However, as an adult, I didn't trust sending the kids in anyone's house. They would come to our house. And you know what's weird? I use the word weird there, right? Is that it's actually sarcastic. It's not weird. We all have that protection. We all understood that there are predators in our midst. Even in my own family, there was. You know, it's funny how you don't hear about it till like 30 years later. That's why I said I don't know about a real statute of limitations, because there are people who get hurt and they do internalize a lot of that, and that's not right. But definitely, yeah, the brother did biddy centric, like all kind of costumes, artwork, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not here to sell anybody on MJ. I'm just gonna say I love the music, I enjoy it. And hell, we have people. Let's speak about facts. We got people, entertainers who are actually on film abusing minors. You know who I'm talking about. He's in prison right now. Hello, Robert. Shout out to Robert. But yet, we still spinning the tunes. And I say we loosely because it ain't me. I got one CD from the individual. Love the music, love the production, loved all of that. I don't really play it, and I'm not boycotting it either. I'm just not into him like that. He makes a lot of songs. I feel like they're for women, the songs. And by the way, that's how you sell records, because women buy records. But Mr. Kelly, yeah, on film. But it's funny. Black folks are, oh, but I love that. Still bumping it at the family reunion. There's a video, y'all. There's a video. I've never seen it. And back then when it was circulating, they were selling. Remember, people selling copies on the corner. Remember the bootleggers out there selling copies? You do realize that is a federal crime, what they were doing. That's a minor on the film. You play it if you want. They got a place for you. So no. Now, flip side, is he about to defend R. Kelly? No. It's what I've said all along, folks. We like to look at the end result. Look at all of you now. You are all the end result where you are now. What did I always say? Buddha says, this is because that is. Let's go back to Mr. Kelly's childhood when he was about 11 or 12. Abused, taken advantage of, severely abused. Somebody did that to him, and it was not cured. Nobody listened. It festered. And then it manifested in a different way. And yes, now that he has money, he has the power, he's in a position, the illness is going to come forth. So yeah, it's not right what he did at all. Even with the adult women, hey, but then again, with adults, that's a different ball game. But it's not right. But you got to look at the chain. And a person that hurt him, maybe they had their own trauma. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's the common theme I always say. We're all here. We've all suffered trauma, but it's how we deal with it. Again, the internet gives you that thing where, hey, I can go deal with my trauma. I can go beat on people that I don't know. I can feel better about myself by projecting a lifestyle I truly do not have. I can be bigger, I can be better, I can be grandiose, I can be larger than life on the internet. So I say to all the people, even the ones that I might roast or jab or poke fun at, which is all I do, it's not anything malicious. Just know this. I understand why you are where you are. I understand why you need absolute loyalty from your followers here on YouTube. I understand. I understand why you project your lifestyle to be bigger, larger than what it is. I don't want to say could be, because you got massive potential to do anything you want to do. I understand why people who are allegedly successful come here daily, right, to get a dose of the effery, to participate in things that the average person, average professional wouldn't have time to do. I understand. This place, sometimes it's the gift and the curse. The internet is great. Lot of tools, a lot of information, things that might be useful. But nowadays, it's not. It's a lot of the flip side of that. And I'll get more into that. When stories came out decades later about family members, I was angry the information wasn't shared when things happened. I was too. But see, this what's interesting is this person was an elder, and I still didn't understand when they got walked out in handcuffs, which was weird. Cuz went to school, the teacher was talking about awareness of SA awareness, and she shared a story, and then all of a sudden the cops is at the door. So she never told like her mom, like, this is what happened, this is this is that. Now, what's funny, people did not believe it. Oh no, that's impossible. Well, it wasn't that impossible. But yet we tend to just pretend it didn't happen. But it's funny, the whispers I found out just recently in the last year or two. This person's been gone for decades, but I found out in the last year or two, the cousins said they were warned. Like their mothers would say, "Don't ever be alone with him. Don't go over there if I'm not there." Wait a minute, so we know all of this, and we sitting up at the barbecues and the picnics and the Sunday dinners, like ain't nothing. Let me tell you something. There will never be a predator sitting at my dinner table, ever, in life. In life. It's just not going to happen. But hey, it does happen. And that's why, I told all the girls growing up, I said, let me tell you everything a predator's going to say. Let me tell you about the threats. They're gonna tell you they're gonna hurt me. They're gonna say this. They're gonna say they knew the script. I said, soon as it starts to go in that direction, you come right and tell me. And thankfully, it never happened. So, but anyway, like I said, man, we're all here. You know, it's a lot of pain. Because like I said, I was talking about earlier how you'll have a civil conversation like this, and then you'll have a panel, and then on the panel, all of a sudden, the person starts to throw out darts at folks and things, and it's like this: you're carrying your pain. We're literally on here dealing with blips on the screen, right? And we allowed these blips and these fonts to actually create an emotional impression upon us where we're walking around in our day angry about people we don't know, people we have not met, just upset. How do you really hate? Anyway, I done been through all of that. I say this every show, as a matter of fact. I'm gonna keep it moving. But yeah, so that's what we do. And it seems like I told you, because there might be a group of 20, 30, or 40 people, we think that, well, it's okay. Or we label it as entertainment. It's not really entertaining. It's not really entertainment to watch people crash and burn. I would say that a lot of us, we might need some therapy or professional help. We need to go get it. We like to yell about each other. Oh, you need professional help. You need professional help. When we're in fact the individuals that need professional help. If you ever had professional help or therapy, raise your hand. Most people, especially in our community, will not raise their hands because it's some kind of stigma, or taboo, or something, like you're crazy because you went to talk to somebody. And let me tell you something. I will say this to you. Talking to a therapist is probably 1,000 times better than talking to your friend that will agree with you, co-sign everything you say, or basically just take your pain and go back and tell everybody else what you told them. Yeah, girl. Yeah, she told me that she's thinking about hurting herself, and she told me that ever since he left. And then see, to them, it's just a bunch of tea, So again, I don't know what the problem is, y'all. You got to talk to a professional. If you got to, go ahead and get that done. But coming here, living in this fantasy is not going to really, it's not going to be helpful for you in the long run. It's not. It's just this isn't well, it's real, but it's not real. It's too much of a reality to me. Moving along, because boy, that soapbox, got to get off of it. Look, check this out. So y'all, we talked about our infamous leaders in the government enacting all these policies and the big dumb bill and all this other stuff, taking away the health care, squeezing you for more taxes, throwing your tax money all the way. We talked about folks in the last one MAGA is now looking for sympathy. They voted for hate. They couldn't stand, oh, they eating the cats, they eating the pets. You voted for that. You were so worried about it. Now you're living in a hellish dystopian nightmare. Now you want to cry, right? Well, guess what? You remember us? We said Black Lives Matter. You was out there with your ass yelling all lives matter. Well, guess what? Your ass don't matter right about now. Do what you got to do. Be mad about it. Go ahead and protest. Hey, look, isn't protesting fun? You know what I'm saying? Remember when we used to do that way back in the day? And you people, not even way back in the day, even during the BLM, which, by the way, are a bunch of damn grifters. We're not going to talk about them today. $90 million. They done ran off. So that's another thing too, y'all. That's why I keep telling you, stop getting exploited because of your pain. Stop letting people tell you how to think. God damn it. You got a brain in your mind, in your head. You got a brain. They're going to tell you, think about it. All of these MAGA people, they was told, oh, these aliens, oh, look over there, the trans people, they coming. Oh my God, it's a trans. Oh, they coming for you. Oh, Lord, they're going to take, before they was, oh, the black people, they're going to take your jobs. They want your women. Those black men, they're hung. Oh, my God, they're huge. Blah, 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 whatever. They're going to stretch your daughter out, whatever. So you was told these things. And, so you just had to vote. And then meanwhile, you ain't get a damn thing in return. You, at one point, used to have a few more dollars than us. So you look like you was living large, but you weren't. You know what I'm saying? So they always want to tell you to hate. Same thing, black folks. I'm not sitting around here hating them other peoples. I'm not hating them. They poor people just like us. I'm not hating them. You want to bring up, oh, well, slavery times and they was this and or they're being racist now. So I have to, no. They can be racist. They can be haters. They can do whatever they want. That doesn't mean I'm not matching that energy, which brings me to a point. The Kevin Hart roast. Somebody made a George Floyd joke talking about he's looking up at us right now, blah, 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 blah. And people like, oh, Kevin Hart, you let that man say that on there. You let him tell that joke about George Floyd, and you let him say it. And then Kevin came out, which I wouldn't have done, explaining it. Oh, well, I didn't write the joke. I didn't. Let me tell you something. The minute that the sharks are coming, the minute you start explaining, all they're going to do is rip you even more. But what kills me is, why are black people so outraged? Why? Like, for instance, I used to notice, like we would never be out in the street protesting. The minute that there's a white cop and they done did something to a black person, and by the way, not defending that, because there should be no cop violating anyone's civil rights. Let's get that out the way, because you got, people, oh, what you saying? That was want to say, so what you saying, and then tell you what you're saying and project. See, over here, in the boring world, we don't project. We just say, hey, what you said is what you said. So I'm going to say, we was all out there ready to burn the city down when a black person got hurt by a cop. And then as soon as that, here come the ambulance chasers, lawyers with they black ass. I ain't going to say his name, but he's always on camera. He the first one ringing your phone off the hook. Yeah, okay, they did it to your son. I'm on the way to get my 20%. I mean, to help your family out. So then there's a check get cut. Some people get some money. And, then it's back to business. He's on to the next case. Now, mind you, him and his law firm, they don't write any bills. They don't present any bills or any pieces of legislation to the Congress that maybe they could get somebody to float or something like that, or even discuss to make changes, broad sweeping changes to help you avoid this, or to put some kind of pressure on the system to keep them from, treating y'all like you're worthless. No, he's just going to wait for the next case and show up. The man told Tamir Rice's mom, oh, well, you got to tone it down and stop doing these interviews. You sound angry. And if you're, angry black women, that's going to rub them the wrong way and they're not going to want to pay you. Excuse me? You just told a black mom who had her son murdered for just doing what? Being a 12-year-old on a playground. And you're going to tell her, don't be angry because of some money? See that right there? Stop calling his black ass when something go wrong. Get you another. There's more civil rights lawyers in this country. But see, that's our fault, though, because the civil rights movement took place and we didn't pick up, Gen X didn't pick up the baton and keep it running. We had a lot of other boomers from that era still grifting and running around getting paid, but we did not pick up the baton. So here we are again, outraged at a joke that was a racist joke. Look, did I like it per se? Not really. To me, it wasn't even funny. And I'm all about, if it's funny, then it's funny. Now, why do I say that? What type of black man are you if you're going to sit there and let these racists, hey, check this out. The minute you start censoring comedy, it ain't comedy no more. Now, if we're going to roll this back to the 1950s and take out all the curse words and just stick to the take my wife, please jokes and just go to that, then fine. If you want to roll it back to that and we want to be Puritans, let's go. We could use some more morality. But what I ain't going to do is let people, the wokeness, and I hate that word, just censoring and canceling everything. Damn it. God damn it, yo. It's comedy, you know? It's comedy. And definitely much love to Floyd family, you know, but unfortunately, it's like, man, it's the world. We live in a country. There's the First Amendment. People can say what they want. Now, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Cancel your Netflix. Now, see, no. Here's the challenge. You want to be mad at Kevin Hart. You want to hate him. You want to blame him. Okay, do me a favor. I'm going to set a 30-second timer. I'm not going to do that. I don't believe in that bullshit. You are not that popular to be having commercial breaks. Can I tell y'all that? And BlackTube got your area of BlackTube got about 40 people in it, and you taking commercial breaks. My ass. I'm going to keep talking. Go right now while you're listening to this live and cancel your net. If you hate it so much, cancel your Netflix subscription. I mean, all the way. No. When they say, hey, why are you leaving? Hey, what about $7.99 with the commercial? No, keep next. Hey, maybe we can postpone this for 30 days and let you nope, next. Just keep going all the way to the end. End subscription now and don't watch it. Send a message to Netflix in a form of protest. See, the thing is, you want to be mad and you want to go do a YouTube video yelling into the microphone like you really see. That's the problem. Remember I said the internet gift and curse? You really believe you're changing the world by putting this message out onto YouTube. Oh, I did my part because I went on YouTube and I expressed my outrage. Your outrage affected nothing. It didn't change Netflix's bottom line. They're going to put out the next one. It's going to be even worse. That Flavor Flav roast was actually, it was not just racist, but they insulted him. Like, to me, it wasn't funny. He laughed the whole time, but it was kind of like how Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra used to do Sammy Davis. It was like it was supposed to be jokes, but it didn't really feel too jokey to me. You understand? But hey, that's where we're at. So anyway, the government's putting the big green squeeze on a lot of folks, right? So what now? Guess what, y'all? All of the CEOs of the fast food chains, they're complaining because quarter after quarter, they're losing money. They're losing money. See, here's the problem. I want to say to the corporations, welcome, Cher. Welcome, Cher. That's my homegirl. East Side, stand up. Hey, the formula is how much, feed the American people hate. Always keep them divided. Keep them pointing fingers at the next man. Tell them that the reason why the blacks and the whites and the Hispanics, tell them the reason why they don't have anything is because the next man is getting more than his fair share. Now, it's not me, the trillionaire that runs your government and lobbies Congress and has bought and sold every politician. No. It's not me. It's them people over in the next town. They're the reason why your gas is high, right? So they ran that lie, and then comes along number 47, who basically gotta thank the man, because at 45 and 47, he ripped the curtain down and showed y'all all the corruption. Matter of fact, he has all the corruption right out on Front Street for you to see. He's doing it in your face and basically telling you won't do a damn thing about it. Oh, I don't know about y'all, but I'm scared, y'all, because now they ain't even hiding it from you no more. Jeez, what we gonna do now? Now all of a sudden, that's why you see these MAGA people crying and hey, why the Latinos, why the blacks ain't down, why they not with us now, and we need no. See, y'all want to have a conversation, let's have a conversation. But if we're going to come together, let's talk about making some systemic changes amongst us and changing our thinking and stop raising your kids to hate the next person. So now they squoze you to the point where they can't delude you anymore. Because see, even MAGA, now they're mad because they're like, damn, I lost my farm. Damn, fertilizer is like 10 times what it used to be. Damn, my crops just rotted in the field. My soybeans all rotted because I couldn't sell it because this man gave $20 billion to Argentinian farmers who then sold their crops over to China. Bro, right in front of their face. And they got a nerve to be walking around with that stupid ass red hat on, right? Still going, right? So now they're at the point where they realize that, hey, maybe it's something else going here. Maybe the Black Panthers were right when they were trying to unite all poor people and telling us we're all getting screwed, right? So the CEOs are complaining. Now, during the pandemic, you remember that, by the way, it's still going on, but you remember the pandemic, right? A lot of folks lost their jobs. A lot of people didn't have money, so they started to eat a lot more fast food, right? Because it was cheap. McDonald's raised their prices. I know that because I used to get my little morning Egg McMuffin I used to enjoy. And then suddenly it's like, damn, what happened to $5.37? Now it's at $7.79. I'm like, Jesus. So they raised the price. And I read their quarterly reports. They said, yeah, we raised the price, but consumers don't seem to mind. That's what McDonald's said. And then the following year, prices went up again. And then prices went up again. And they kept pushing. They was like, see, what they were doing is, I call it exploitation. They realized that you're getting squeezed by the Corporation of America. You don't have money, so you have no choice but to eat here. And they just raised the prices because they felt they had a monopoly. Well, guess what, y'all? They pushed it too far. Now, when you and your daughter decide to go to McDonald's and the bill is $31, you're starting to realize, damn, we could have went to TGI Fridays and sat down, and for $4 more, we could have had a meal for us with the drink, right? So now a lot of you have kind of backed off. Well, I don't know about y'all, but health reasons kind of pushed me out of my Egg McMuffin. You know what I mean? Because that thing is full of sugar. So I got to make my own Egg McMuffin at home like Eddie Murphy's mom, the house burger. So now they're complaining, oh, people aren't spending money. And as a matter of fact, all CEOs across the board are saying spending is way down. Now, is it because the folks suddenly don't have money? Well, that's not really it. What's happening is, I didn't see the roast, however, Kevin Hart has apologized for the jokes that ruffled feathers. He did. I saw him on the morning thing, what do you call it, Breakfast Club? I don't really watch them. They irritate me. But he didn't really, it was more so, I didn't get the apology. I want to hear that, though. It would be nice, I guess, for some folks. If our people can't be united in small sections like us, bigger issues. Oh, truer words never spoken. So now, check this out. The bigger companies, they're complaining. The CEO's like, yo, the revenue is decreasing. What's happening? Americans are doing something called, and y'all need to get on the bandwagon, they call hyper saving. They're just not spending money. Now, I can't say that hasn't been me in the last couple of months, but I did increase savings. So now they're just like, yo, let's go to Walmart. And then down it's like, let's go to Walmart and I need some toothpaste. Guess what they're doing? They go in the door, they buy that toothpaste, they turn around, they walk right back out. Y'all know how it is when you go to Walmart. You go in there for the toothpaste, what happens? Now the cart, $247. Now you got hand towels, you got a saucepan, you got a digital scale, you got vitamin they got vitamin supplements. You got the supplements, and then that big old barrel of candy sitting in the middle. Oh, damn, Juji fruits. I ain't had them since I went to the last movie. And now, there you go, $247. Oh, and some celery and tomatoes. I'm gonna make a nice salad tonight. $247 later. Folks aren't doing that anymore. They're holding their money, and it's not because suddenly, well, did they suddenly hear a video on financial literacy and change their mind? No, a lot of folks are scared. They don't know if and when the next paycheck is coming. Not he apologized about Floyd jokes. I'm talking about apologizing for jokes he's made in the past. Oh, okay, cool. So what it is, Americans are starting to understand the value of having savings because we're in uncertain times. We have a wild cowboy administration that are basically literally just burning your money in the street, like just throwing all billions and billions and billions and throwing it away. Right now, of course, if you ask for reparations, oh wait, where are we going to get the money from? I've been through that 100 times. Racists love to argue with you about that, right? So they're throwing away your money. And like I say, people are just like, hey, man, we got to prepare for the worst because we just don't know. I hear so many people, clients I talk to says, man, I just don't know. I'm just uncertain. I talk about retirement every day of the week, and they're just like, retirement. Oh, really? I don't think that's gonna happen. It's really sad. It's really sad now that you're working and you can't even fathom retirement. Like you're just like, the world ain't gonna be here. I don't know about y'all. I'm counting down 4 years. I'm scaling back. I gotta enjoy life. I cannot be working till I'm 80. Um, didn't really plan perfectly for that, but hey, guess what? There's something called a contingency plan. We'll dip out in a few years. Maybe I just work 2 days a week part time or something just to keep a benefit medical going. If by that time we didn't come up with a universal care health system, which again, I don't understand why in this country we don't have that happening. Hey, check this out. So oh, LLO lost leaders get you in the door because they know you will not just purchase that one item. That's a sales thing. I actually had, matter of fact, I got took by a sales tactic yesterday. I'm on Facebook and they say, hey, this type of such and such is the pure version and da 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 da. I already knew this person's trying to game me. It's not a real profile. But I did go back and I researched the actual ingredients. I said, oh, this actually is not a bad product. But I see the hustle, right? And I see all those tactics. That's why I tell you, social media can be the worst sometimes because they know what you're looking at. They market it to you. Like I told y'all before, when you're watching streaming services, you know how you was just talking about, damn, baby, I went to cut the grass, but the blade was dull. And all of a sudden, here's an Ace Hardware commercial talking about lawnmower parts. Yeah, they heard you. It was in your cell phone. When you said it, it recorded you on your conversation. They know you. They know you said it, so they market it towards you. What we have to do to fight against that type of manipulation, which a lot of us are going through here, is we have to become human again. We got to put your feet back on the grass. We have to tune into the cosmos, the universal pulse, the one, as Parliament Funkadelic called it. And we have to tune in where you're not mindless automatons being oh, bye, Sherry. Oh, you gone? Oh man. My bad. I hit like dipped out. All right. So, we got to plug back in. Now, see, around here on BlackTube, this is the height of Black ignorance. The height. Here, you can say things with no substantial evidence, without facts, without anything that's tangible. And people are just, they just ride with it because they're emotional and they like you as a personality because, well, you're frankly manipulating them, And then when there are facts, like let's say FBI report, video, court documents, things like that, we just throw it out. Oh, we say, who cares? Well, who cares? Well, no one cares. No one cares about that. Okay, see, check this out. I can't do 10 minutes of that. I can't. I live in a world that's based on mathematics, the laws of physics, science, creation in some aspects. So therefore, a fact is a fact is a fact all day. Now, who you like or who I like is irrelevant. Can't like someone you don't know. And a lot of the personalities that we come across in YouTube, BlackTube, we just don't know. But I understand, you want to fill up your day. But like I said, if you want to fill up your day for 5 and 6, 7, 8 hours of this medium, by all means. I myself find it addictive. I know we all get that little endorphin boost when you sign in. Oh, I got some notifications. You know what I mean? You get the little boost and you come in. So again, I'm here with you. I'm broadcasting now. Guess what? Again, this is a tool. Hey, we had a whole discussion about AI before. Not going to go into that. AI is also a tool, a useful tool. I just used it twice in the last couple of days. Did you happen to hear my uploads? I don't know. Someone's listening because someone is playing the videos. Anyway, so check this out. I make it for me, and I enjoy doing it. So now I saw there are some 47 supporters, number 47 administration supporters throughout BlackTube. I see them. I don't want to say side-eye them, but already knows it's for attention. Like when they put up things like, "Oh, he's the greatest leader and he's the most wonderful." And then it's funny because I always go to the comments and watch people. You're delusional. You're crazy. I can't believe you. And I'll be saying, can y'all stop arguing with those supporters of that individual? They do it for attention. There's nothing that you can say to someone in a cult that will change their mind. Stop wasting your time with that. They're the same ones that just watched their rural hospital close down and will stand there in a bar and argue you damn near into a physical fight because you're hitting them with facts about this individual. So I say it's the biggest waste of time. For real, the level of corruption is like it's unprecedented. Like I seriously wake up like I can't believe I woke up and I'm still in this reality. Like I swear to beans, I think I came from another universe. I'm from another reality. This can't be the one. I must have glitched or something during a nightmare and end up crossing over through some type of quantum state of flux. I ended up somewhere else. But hey, I'm here. And it is really happening. So no, I will not argue with those supporters. I stopped doing that during the first go round because it's pointless. You know, anytime a man puts mustard on his hot dog and y'all called him an elitist, or he wore a tan suit in October and the outrage. Or like they always like to throw in my face, what about Benghazi? See, you know what? During the first administration, I would argue with these clowns. What about Benghazi? I said, oh, so some people got killed in Benghazi because the strike against Gaddafi, whatever. I say, yeah, but go back 6 months. Go back 6 months before that. Now, when that resolution hit the floor, who voted to remove security from those buildings, that installation, that area? Who voted for that? And when they look it up, that's right. That's right. The elephant team voted for that. And that made the place vulnerable, and then it got attacked. See, Buddha says this is because that is. This whole looking at things in the after effect of, well, this is what happened. And see, no, you need to see all steps leading up to that. Lorna, welcome. Lorna Dune, welcome. You need to see everything that's involved. See, these people, they don't know what their government is doing. They don't watch the sessions. They don't know what bill is being presented. They don't know anything. All they know, they'll just come up with some. Look, what they do is they go Google, hey, give me 5 good talking points, or Chat GPT, give me some talking points to argue with a Hillary supporter, you know, and then they come out and then here they go trying to sound heavy or intelligent. No. You need to know it all. And there's always more to the story. And I'm going to tell you flat out, I hate to bust your bubble, but these so-called representatives of yours, they're not fighting for you. They're not working for you. And I don't care which side of the aisle they're on. Look, both sides of the aisle, they're all taking corporate PAC money. They're all funded. They are bought and paid for. They're there just to keep you quiet and to keep you in line and to keep you focused on an enemy. That's it. I hate to say it. Until you get money out of politics, I'm talking about, hey, I should be able to run alongside of the next guy who's running against me, but there should be no one giving billions of dollars. Ask yourself, why would a corporation put hundreds of millions of dollars into a candidate? Why? For the kindness of their heart, because they're so loving and compassionate? No, it's because their interests are being represented. So if they are paying millions to get their interests represented, what do you think your leader is doing for their constituents? Now, does it mean don't vote? No, it does not mean do not vote. Your vote still matters. It still counts. What I'm saying is stop looking at social media from these campaigns sponsored by these corporate giants and moguls who will have you believing anything. I'm telling you, wake your ass up. Turn this machine off. Go meditate. Go pray. Go read a book. go sit quietly, and do absolutely nothing. That's called Wu Wei. It's a Chinese art of doing nothing. Sit your ass still. Stop believing everything you hear. Like, seriously, read though. Read is the biggest thing because it stimulates the brain. It keeps those synapses firing in the brain. When we look at the screen, the rapidly changing, you get those little bursts of endorphins. It's a high effect, is what it's giving you. I know, because it's hard. It's very hard to put it down. You sit here on BlackTube, you're waiting all day. You want that one content creator to go live so they can say the exact same thing that they've said the last 10 times in a row for 4 hours with the same people saying the same thing with the same punchlines, the same "you did this to me, but you did that, but you did this, but you did that" over and over. And then you have the self-righteous ones who will come out and just call them out. My whole channel is about calling out these people that do these things. But nonetheless, we're locked in and listening to it all, which isn't a bad thing at the surface, just listening, but it's very repetitive. So what are you getting out of it? When you walk away, how much have you gained more than when you sat down 4 hours ago? Wow. How? Hey, look, am I telling you not to listen? No, because I will be there in the audience and I will be listening too. I'll be right there with you. But see, the thing is, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I love all the content creators. Perfect examples, the pharmaceutical industry. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Oh my God. Seven's here. Oh yeah, Seven and her locks and her prawns running about the house. So then, you know what? I'm glad I put up the comment because I needed to segue from that, because I don't want to be that guy that's saying, but I always like to say I'm right there with you. Now, a lot of the times I'll tune in for, a few minutes. I go, okay, cool. Then I tune out. Then I tune back to panels. It's the same panels. Then I tune out. Then I tune back in. It's like the same thing. I just want to ask everybody, how many times can you say something, the same thing, into a microphone where you think and believe you're going to get the other person to change? They're going to suddenly change their mind, or they're going to just be like, "Oh my God, you hurt me so bad. I'm ready to jump off the building." Like, it's not going to happen. Actually, let me speak for me. No, I ain't. No, you ain't. What? I hate that. I pull up the comments and they're out of context because I don't remember what I was saying when the person typed it. So I have to go back and watch it. But yeah, no doubt. But we're all here. Y'all know me. I always say, man, let's get some balance going. So that's what the boring sector is all about. And by the way, it's not, like I said, it's the boring sector, but it's informative. It's a real conversation. We can drop links, and we can talk about things that are not what you've been talking about all week. And because we don't want to talk about that. Like I said, we do not get into the name games. We don't do all that. This isn't the place to come for the 88th time taking a stab at your ops. Oh my God, please stop. At this point, you should have been on the plane and went to their town to go see them by this point. Otherwise, ain't no point in you keep yelling it over and over. You're not hurting them. You're not changing. Unless you're just looking for followers, like, well, if I can insult, which is a tactic that's used on BlackTube sometimes. Folks will come on and say, well, if I could just insult one person and jump on them, then I'll instantly get a team behind me. Which leads me to another point. Why do you need a team? Oh my God. You know what? We all got teams. They're called families. That's right. The man or woman you lay next to every day. Those little rugrats in the other room that always seem to want something to drink right when you about to close the door and talk to your partner. Yes, the little knock on the door, the baby, because they know. See, I don't know about that anymore. That was decades ago. But kids, they know what's up. That's why they ask you, because guess what? You're going to tell them he could have that little Debbie cream pie. It's 12:47 at night. His little ass need to be in the bed. But guess what, mommy? Could I have a little Debbie? Guess what? Yeah, go, goddamn it, go get it. Hey, look, come on. He knows it's going to work. He going to have that little Debbie. And guess what? He going to get a little hug juice while he in there too. And he going to turn the TV on. In there in the middle, watching Friday Part 1, eating. Matter of fact, he got the box of little Debbie's out. and the jug of Kool-Aid sitting on the coffee table. He ain't going to bed. Y'all in there just the headboard, just the banging. You know what I mean? But hey, it worked out for everybody. Anyway, how I get on that? So moving right along. Get your ass in that bit. Moving right along. You know what? Someone asked, should we have nationalized banks? I'm going to leave that one for now. I need to look more into that. I've heard both sides of the story. Hey, y'all, but check this out. Hey, man, speaking of the pandemic, a lot of y'all was getting them PPP loans, man. A lot of y'all claim that hot dog cart. That hot dog cart had 8 employees and somehow you needed $90,000. Bro, they is out here cracking down on the PPP loans. They out here, man, look, you better lawyer up. You better find you some Matter of fact, since you like to Google so much, you better Google your ass and find out PPP loan defense lawyers. You better find them because they coming. Oh, and by the way, for those of you that were out here looking for everyone in your family and you was going to show them how to do the application, but you only wanted $3,000 or $4,000 out of the cut. Hey, let me tell you something. They coming for your ass too. Cause guess what? What do you think is gonna happen when at least 4 of the people you helped do the application get hemmed up in the jail? They're gonna sing like a damn canary. They're gonna tell them, oh, so and so did it, and they helped me, and they just said, and I know. They're gonna play dumb, right? And they're gonna implicate you. Now, I had a relative. She resting in peace right now. My cuz, L from the Inglewood families. She resting right now. Man, one day she popped up. She was like, cuz she always had the latest joint, the hookup, right? Thanks to her for showing me how to program these fire sticks. But she always had the hookup. She's like, man, yo, I just got this computer. I need you to show me how to work these cameras, and I need you to show me. And I'm like, damn, bro, you was just asking me for like $50. You had a little come up. She's like, yeah, man, I'm helping people process for the loans. And I said, well, how much you got? She said, I got like 70 grand. I was like, whoa, that's a lot of applications. So she gone now, y'all. I can snitch. They can't do nothing to her, and they can't go in the ground and get her. Rest her soul. But if she was still here, man, they be coming for it, because y'all, the problem is y'all think the government is dumb. I keep telling you, your side hustle. Okay, here's the formula, y'all. When you open up your own business, trust me, I know because I used to run one successfully. But mind you, I pay tax on every dollar. I'm here to tell you, the government already know you're going to defraud to a degree. Like even with your own business, your cell phone, the gas you put in your car, you writing off. The car repairs, you writing off. That little sign you stuck on your basement door and now claiming 30% of your mortgage because now it's a home office. I mean, they know you're going to steal. So that's why you get overly taxed. They like, well, they're going to tax you 30% because they know your ass going to steal 20. They really only wanted the 10%. So it's understood. Sometimes I had a lot of folks that would just not pay taxes at all. They was running their little hole in the wall shops, walking around with big ass wads of money out in a strip club, turning it up. Hey, look, I don't know about y'all, but let me see. In the heyday of my shop, I don't know, my annual revenue might have been, I don't know, I want to say somewhere around close to 300. But, you got employees, Social Security, taxes. Man, it was so many things. The government was just right there. Insurance, man, trust me. On a good day, I might have been coming home with a third of that. But the good news is there are great write-offs in business. Now, so I did my taxes quarterly. I paid quarterly because my accountant would reconcile my books quarterly. And that's my homegirl. That's one of my best friends. And she's a CPA. Love it. She like family, man. But I used to, man, oh my God. She was like, dude, I'm only charging you $35 an hour. I'm like, yo, but so I would come to her like with my little QuickBooks, and I'm like, hey, I already got everything printed out. And she's like, I still got to reconcile. Bring me all the receipts. So it was a lot of work. You paid money for that. But see, that was protection. Because if the IRS ever knocked on the door, guess what? I got all the receipts. I got all the taxes. I got everything. Now, my friends, they would just be walking around with all of their money. And I was hating, man. Them dudes was balling. I'm sitting there saying, damn, he got the new 6 Series BMW. He got this. They balling out of control. But the problem is they don't have no business credit. When I bought this house, I literally used, I'm like, well, I got a business. I get a paycheck. I paid myself every week. I had payroll, so I could go to a bank. And that's the difference. If you say you're a business person, you should be able to go to a bank and get a bank loan based on your business. But you got to understand, they're going to want, at the very least, 5 years of tax returns, 5 years of bank statements. They're going to want to see it. They want to see everything. But, like I said, when you're doing it right, you're doing it right. I don't know how I got into the financial portion of the show, but basically I'm telling you, pay your taxes. Oh, PPP. So all of a sudden, as soon as the pandemic hit, matter of fact, it was so bad that when they offered the PPP loans, all these people came out the woodwork that the people that really needed the money, by the time they heard about it and went to apply, the fund was dry. And then they replenished it. So, I swear, it was like the pandemic hit. It's like, oh, you got this PPP money. Overnight, you went from a hot dog stand to a Fortune 500 corporation overnight. And all of a sudden, you're now, oh, I got all these employees. I got this, I got that. Well, they coming for your ass. They coming for you. They coming. And they got a whole bunch of people. So all of that fraud. Y'all like to talk about fraud a lot. Yep, they coming. Dude that lived down the street, had a roofing company. Dude took the money and bought a new boat. The feds picked him up. Bro, not the boat. Not the boat, man. Let me tell you, I was about to say something ignorant and illegal, but I'm not. I'm just going to say, I'll use another parable. So I saw a couple by mistake get $1.1 million transferred into their bank account. Now, if that ever happens to you, call the bank. Now, I did see a brother one time. He got a whole ton of money. He called the bank. At one point, they cussed him out and told him, stop harassing them. Man, see, after the fourth call, now I'm tell you, don't take the money out and spend it. These people did just that. Spent it, was making loans, was buying a bunch of junk. That is fraud. That's theft. That's not your money. You know it's not your money. So there's nothing you're going to say. You can't take the mistake of, well, the bank made a mistake. Okay, well, I was moving. I'm your next door neighbor. I was moving some stuff out and the diamond ring hit the ground. It's my diamond ring. It's $10,000. It's not for you to take and go pawn somewhere. Now, if you see, the problem with criminals is criminals are not smart people. That's why they're criminals. I'm just going to say this. What would have happened if they'd have took that $1.3 million and invested in like a S&P index fund until the bank came back to get the money? Now, they would come and get the money, but here's the question. Can you keep the returns? That I don't know. And the longer they take to come, the more return. I'm just saying, I'm not telling you. What I'm going to tell you is the honest truth. Call the bank right away. Don't call the bank right away. And that's number one. Number two, don't spend the money. All right. Because now some people say, well, you just alluded. Now, I'm not telling you to do nothing. If you invest that stolen money, now understand, if we come into an administration like this one, and that 1.3 million turns into 972,000, guess what? You still going to owe the bank the 1.1. So don't play games. Call the bank first. Hey, no, they might even give you a toaster as a reward. You know what I'm saying? Banks don't give out toasters no more. But hey, y'all, they coming for you for the PPPs. They coming. Yeah, you was, remember that? All the Gucci, Louis Vuitton, you was turning all, oh my God. Did you really need some $500 sunglasses? See, that's what I'm saying, y'all. Some of you probably even said, the white man, they owe us, this our reparations. Okay, well, he got a reparations. He about to have a preparation for a jail cell for your black ass. Money don't come like that. It ain't free. And I hope that you weren't one of those people that frauded them folks. They not dumb. They got computer algorithms that they can just say, show me everybody that got a loan and show me everybody, like the last 5 years tax return, look for any discrepancies and balances, blah, 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 blah. For a lot of you folks that always think like you out there in the street, you street pharmacists, and you putting money in your baby mamas through your baby mama's account, talking about, as long as I don't put it over $10,000, they ain't never going, they won't know. Wrong. if you're putting in, let's say for instance, you out there, you're a street pharmacist, and you telling baby girl to go put $8,000 a week into the account or twice a week. It ain't over 10,000. Wrong. That's in banking terms, we call that they call it structuring, where you're literally trying to put in certain amounts of money in increments and taking a certain amount out. Now, not even taking it out, but you're putting it in like you're trying to avoid the radar. They have computer algorithms that will pick up like suspicious activity. Like, for instance, you own a hair salon, then all of a sudden your deposits go up 60% for no reason. Guess what? An audit's coming. You're on the radar. They can see that. See, you met Main Man. He's a street pharmacist. All of a sudden, you decide to run all of that money through your salon, thinking like, oh, it's in. Well, I got the business. It's just in with my receipts. No, they're gonna know that. It's gonna trigger something. They're gonna know, and especially if you're doing like international wires out of the bank account, which, under the Patriot Act, they put a lot of things in place because people were like Al Qaeda was getting funded and things like that. These people are not dumb. See, I'm gonna tell you something. These street ninjas, they like to pride themselves on being so smart and so clever. They got the whole system figured out. And yeah, man, I'm saying that's how they do. That's how they're criminal experts, right? But the one thing they could not avoid was jail time, right? Funny, you knew everything, but yet you still ended up in the system, right? We ain't smarter than the system. If anything, you're gonna play the system in a way where you're a part of it and you can get your slice out of it. See, the thing is that like being a street dude. And by the way, no disrespect to anybody that's from our community. I was out there with you. The only difference is, man, I hung out on the street with y'all, but I did my homework. Shit. Why you think I caught the first bus after school? 2:35. Shit, I was on the 2:37 bus. I was haul-assing. Because I get home, do the homework, knock it out. By the time y'all hit the street, 4:30, 4:45, we playing basketball. Man, my shit is done. I ain't no dummy. You know what I mean? But so, they got, again, that's a whole nother story. How the substances are allowed into our communities. People distribute them. They make a whole lot of money. And then here come Mr. and Mrs. Fed. They knock on the door and take everything that you made and put you in a cage. They leave you there for a little while. Then they let you out. And then you do the same thing again. And you repeat the cycle. Meanwhile, I told folks a long time ago, if you were smart, you would have got out of high school, got that bachelor's degree, and went to work for the feds, because they the one getting all the money and keeping it. I told y'all my uncle used to, rest his soul, used to be he used to work deep in real estate. He used to do a lot of forfeitures and foreclosures and things, federal forfeitures. And he said, yo, all them U.S. Marshals I know, all of them drive Ferraris, Porsches, they got boats. He said, yo, when them auctions happen, he said they be getting first crack at things. He said they all got high and stuff. So who did all the work to get it? And then who ended up with it? All they had to do was batter a ram, kick a door down. Hey, bro, I'm just telling you, when we was young, we used to play cops and robbers. Unfortunately, the robbers don't really win. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, do what you got to do. But this whole, I'm smarter than that. I'm gonna have a hot dog stand, and I'm gonna go head on and tell them I got 8 employees and I'm coming up. Yeah, now here I'm gonna ask you a question. Where all the PPP money at right now? Did you invest it? Okay, for about 10 minutes, you look like a baller because you bought your girl a whole bunch of expensive bags. You got a chain. You got some Jordans, whatever it is you did, stupid. You got a raggedy ass BMW, used BMW, bought from somebody that's got engine problems and never been right since you got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You're not that smart, right? And them folks, you ain't gonna steal from them folks now. Now they steal. Matter of fact, one of them right now, the head chief, he's doing it right in front of your face. The man literally, the government literally did its job, investigated this fool, right? Legitimately, found stuff, legitimately. He gets in power. He starts persecuting everybody that even looked at him wrong. And then he sues the government like, how dare you? And then sues the government, which technically he's the head of. And then says, I'm going to offer a settlement. So wait a minute, you're on both sides of the court case? You were the prosecution and the defense? And then you pleaded out, and then So on this side, you offer, oh, we're gonna offer a settlement to who? To me, the plaintiff. Well, aren't you also the prosecution? Yeah, I'm that too. Okay, so I got 1.7 billion. What you gonna do with that? Well, I'm gonna give it to everybody that got wronged on for doing crimes, on my behalf. Basically, I'm just gonna fund my own personal militia. Y'all better wake your ass up and get to the gun range. Yo, these people ain't playing out here. You on you on YouTube with the same, and he did talked about my wife, the children. You on here every day, and them folks is planning some dastardly shit. You know what I mean? They on it. Make a change, nothing, just twisting my villains myself and plotting to take over the tri-state area. Yeah, no doubt. Welcome, Twin, the twin in the house. Chat lives matter. You know we the same person. He was on camera the other day. I don't know. We do look a lot alike. That was a narrative too. But keep spinning your narratives though. But see, meanwhile, while you spinning narratives and supporting the fakery, folks is coming. They doing their thing. You know what I mean? They out here doing their thing, and man, it ain't looking good. Yeah, you still got. I know I said earlier, MAGA done woke up and all this, but hey, you don't think they ain't gonna take money? Think about it. They already starving. The hospital done closed down. And their Medicaid is cut in half. They just farmed and went underground. You don't think they got their guns though? You don't think they ain't gonna take some money if they had to, or if they, look at all the people that work for ICE. You know what I'm saying? Man, they handing out like $50,000 bonuses. I'm paraphrasing here. Yo, anytime you have a whole federalized police forces out here to kick Latinos out the country, and you got Latinos in the ranks, yo, that man, shit. People, anything for a buck, like I said. So I don't know, y'all. I dropped the link just in case any of you have any ideas on your mind, or whatever. Hey, they're doing a lot of redistricting for the voters. They don't want y'all to have a voice. Completely unconstitutional, but they're doing it. The courtroom is padded. The Supreme Court is padded with their picks. It's like, yo, here's the thing. Instead of talking about what is corrupt, is there anything that isn't corrupt at this point? Did the tariff refunds come through for Americans and the businesses that were owned? Oh, yeah, there've been some corporate handouts of the tariff money. Isn't that funny how that worked, Alona? Now, you and I, right, when those tariffs kicked in, all that money was put into a reserve, right? The prices went up. You and me went out here to these stores, and we paid higher prices. Now the stores are like, well, we need our kickbacks, and they're going to get them. So here's the question. Where's our kickback? Where's the stimulus check? Where's the tariff check? That money should have gone to Americans straight up, because we still had to shop, and we did. So that's a good ass question. But it's funny, they never ask that. They never say, well, hey man, you said we was going, hey, look, I'm still waiting for prices lowered on day one. I'm still waiting on no more wars. I'm still waiting on a better repeal and replace for the medical. It ain't happen. Hey, look, all I'm saying is my whole thing is to keep working hard, keep investing, understand that time is precious. I just got a year older. Time is precious, man. Every day counts. This time is precious. That's why I jumped on here early to get this over with, because I knew if I didn't, I ain't gonna be able to make it back on here. I'll probably try to produce or put something out later. You know me, I'm always in the channel. Oh my goodness, it's the beautiful one. Oh, she's here. Girl, is that Patchouli? What's that scent you got on? Hey, the Democrats took themselves out when they forgot what a woman was. That was all she wrote. What is a woman? I don't know. Thanks, beautiful. Oh, happy birthday. Thank you. Yeah, that happened. I stopped counting the birthdays. All I know is time feels like it's moving faster. And scientifically, I'm like, why does it feel like every day is a blur? Like, it's a couple of things. There's a whole video I saw on this. I read actually. When you're 5 years old, 1 year goes by, that's like 20% of your life. between ages 4 and 5. So the days seem like it's a lot longer. Like if you ever noticed being a kid, how your mama say she going to do the Christmas layaway. Well, if you know, like I did, my mama did the Christmas layaway. But it seemed like Christmas took 3 years between July and December. It seemed like, man, it was even in December. Remember all the decorations going up? You going to school every day. I'm like, man, just 19 days to Christmas. That was the longest time, right? But now, when you're 50, you know, like 1 year is like 2% of your life or something. Forgive me on the math, y'all. It's early. I don't drink coffee. So the days seem to move a lot faster, right? Now your brain, right? It records events in a cycle. I forgot how many bits per day it records, but in this particular point, you're getting up, you're going to work every day, you wash up, you use the same toothbrush, you do this. The guy was saying, he says, he says, read more. He says, change your routine, brush your teeth with your opposite hand, drive a different route to work. He was like, change up the routine so that your brain can start, you know, building these new, I forgot the word, synapses. I don't know, these new pathways, memory pathways in your brain to kind of get it to like kind of to be, you know, back into its normal state. Because think about it, we come here, we're scroll, and what he said, one of the biggest culprits is, he says, when you scroll, like incessantly scroll for like, let's say a half an hour, 45 minutes, your brain literally, you know what, I should have actually made notes of this so I can give y'all the right terms. But he was saying in the sense of your brain is probably goes into a loop, like it just morphs the background out, right? As though it freezes time in a way. And it's just like in your brain, like 16 hours done went by. It'll just kind of put on a repetitive loop. And then there it is. You're not recording anything. It's just endorphins and But anyway, y'all, enough about that. Maybe I'll talk about that one time. It was like the movie Click with Adam Sandler. When you settle into a routine, time just flies by. I'm going to watch that just because you said it. Oh, thank you, Divine. It was the 26th of May. I appreciate that. I didn't announce it or anything, but every time my homeboy Dirk Williams come up here, we have the same birthday, same time. He always says May 26th, Gemini, da 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 da, Greenville, Mississippi, blah 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 blah. You know, and whatchamacallit. So yeah, I appreciate that. Matter of fact, you just reminded me. I should be celebrating today because it was during the week, and my day off for the day, I literally just did nothing but make business calls all day because I didn't have any time. See, I work so much, and then on the weekends, is a lot of businesses aren't open. I don't have time during the day to squeeze in these calls. I was literally going to appointments, making calls. I told myself today that, you know what, I'm gonna go buy a bowling ball, right, and some and the wrist support, and get a bowling bag, and I'm gonna start bowling more. Me and my wife just started getting into that. We was like, oh, I really like this. I'm like, yeah, let's start doing it. You know what I mean? Then let's do golf next. You know, let's let's do retired people stuff. Ever drove to work and can't remember drive? Oh my God, bro, you get in the car and then all of a sudden, like you got the YouTube on, the radio, whatever you do. And it's like, next thing you know, you're in the parking lot. It's like it's a blur. You don't remember changing lanes. You don't remember slowing down. You don't remember passing this person. You don't remember any. Now, if there was an accident, your ass would remember. Thank you, Lorna. You would remember when that happened. But you're right, bro. So it seems like, and matter of fact, I even told myself, I said, man, you know what? You should go live more because recording this is like, for instance, I actually had like maybe 3 things I wanted to talk about. It done morphed into a whole conversation. I'm an hour and 23 in. No guests, no panel, no review, no nothing. And that's not a shot. That's just saying like all of this stuff is in my head and it all comes out and it flows. And because I realize when I'm not doing this, a lot of it, the brain is just chattering, activity, chattering. Thanks, Fufu, chattering. You know, but it's good to come here. Maybe somebody will benefit. Maybe it'll stimulate their conversation into doing some things. I don't know. You know, in between that, I'm creating. Like, I'm like, what's the next parody? Or maybe I should make an original work or whatever. But I do want to get out today because I need it. Cut the grass yesterday. Cut the neighbor's grass too. I don't know. to me, that's kind of like a meditation. Matter of fact, in Zen circles, we make everything a meditation. Washing the dishes, hanging clothes. You're literally monitoring. For instance, you're washing the dishes, right? You're in a present state of mind. You're like, the water is warm. It's about 32 degrees Celsius. The dish has a hard porcelain feel to it. The fork has a metallic feel. You're literally like observing everything, and you're immersing yourself in the task, right? You're being present. See, the more that you're present, the less that the mind can go to a past projection like, hey, remember earlier when you was on the thing and the girl on the panel, she said that one thing to you that you said that she was trying to hurt you, or you're thinking now, well, when I get back on the panel, I'm going to do this. And now you're projecting in the future. You're taking past pain and projecting future anxiety, and you're not locked into a present state of mind, which is why a lot of times when we walk up the steps, we count the in breaths, the amount of steps, and the out breath, the amount of steps. So you're doing, we call that walking meditation. Like when you walk, you're like breathing in. I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out. I know that I'm breathing out. What you're really doing as you focus yourself, you're cutting out that senseless mind chatter, that background voice is just like these constant thoughts. I always tell people, I say, if you think that you're really in control of yourself and that you're such an independent individual, go ahead. Let me see. Take 10 seconds and turn your thoughts completely off. Just turn them off. It's yours, right? It's your mind, your brain, your big ass head. Turn the thoughts off. Go ahead. Turn it off for 10 seconds. Can't do it. You won't make half a second before a thought pops up. See, the reason why is because we don't practice in that way. We don't walk around all day living in the experience. I remember my I call mentor, teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, when he was on Oprah had something called Spiritual Sundays, and he was showing her tea meditation, and he was showing her how to be in a present state of mind drinking this cup of tea. And she was like, oh, this is really great. And this is, I don't think she really got it, though, what he was saying, like just walking around. Because see, we're kind of working off of the chemistry. And like I said, it is true. When I see a notification on something that I did, you get a little endorphin jolt, like, boop, hey, somebody commented, boop, and you get the little rush. That's an addiction. We get addicted to that, which is why we're constantly here 20 hours a day. And that's why when you're like I always have 11 in the chat. That's why when the topic is more controversial, even though it's the same topic from 80,000 times, you're going to have 50 people tuned in. Now, some people here pride themselves on, oh, there's no one listening. There's no one in the chat, blah, 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 blah. Hey, look, that's another delusion. You believe your existence, who you are, is based on internet popularity. So you feel more, your ego is larger because you feel like you got 50 people hanging on your every word. You somehow feel a greater sense of purpose. It is not. It's an illusion. If your sense of purpose is based on the amount of people that listen to you, the amount of people that you can delude, boss around, dare to go, you better not go over there, that you can command and rule, I don't know what to tell you. Because if that is really you, if you are the boss, if you are the ruler of everything that you see and survey, and you are sovereign, the sole power here, then who are you when you turn it off? Who are you if the power goes out? What are you then? So, like I said, the whole art of Zen is just simply experiencing the who and not the what you think you are, So, again, when I see you, I hear you, I understand you. I know why you need to control. I know why you need to support. I know why you'll literally pay people. You'll literally dole out money. You'll say or do anything to get these people to like you. I understand why you are who you are. And even if I make fun of you, and even if I point a finger at you, again, it's not malicious. It's just, hey, just creating some humorous content. And I hope you take it as that. Because that's all it is if it's coming from me. It's not malicious. I don't want to see you hurt. I don't want to see you fall. Hell, I feel bad even talking about the mechanism that supports your ego drive here. I feel bad even mentioning it. To a degree, I do. But then on the other side, I don't, because I feel like, hey, look, if your thought is to do what you do, then my thought is, hey, then my thought is to be who I am. Right. And so this is me. So I got to be me and you got to be you. I think the difference is I understand and accept who you are, but you might not understand and accept me. And I saw, I couldn't even find my own live link on my, I call it my, y'all got an iPad. This is a JPad I got. It's on my JPad. But Chat Live shared it out and he said, hey, y'all, it's the, it's the birthday live, but it might be deleted. Hey, check this out. I'm not gonna delete it. I swear I'm not. This is a boring presentation. We don't delete those. And providing that I can that the show doesn't derail into something else. I'm trying to turn this thing down. It's literally the volume is up in the background. Oh man. That's funny. Now it's like it's coming through the mic. Look at that. I keep hitting the power button. I'm trying to hit the volume button. There it is. Finally, a little bit of concentration. So nah, as long as the show, because I had a couple of shows that were they would derail. You have a panel, the panel gets open, and then all of a sudden we're name dropping. All of a sudden, we're off into La La Land, and we're back. Or should I put it in there too? Bombay's boring birthday, bro. Yo, I'm gonna change the title to that. I'm gonna change the title. I'm gonna change the title to that. But let me remember that, because then my memory's done. Bombay's boring birthday broadcast. Yo, damn it! Why can't I be as clever as you? He the twin that got all the good DNA, y'all. Like that movie with Schwarzenegger and Louis from Taxi, Danny DeVito. Yeah, so hey man, every so often I love the boring topics because I get to say real stuff like I see you. You know what I mean? For real. And it's all good. And I did tell y'all in the last broadcast that I put up that I have a sadistic side too. I talk the talk, but then there's man, you can say what you want to say, but some of that stuff you put up, you be kind of like enjoying it a little bit. Yeah, some of it's funny. Maybe I shouldn't laugh. I'm telling you something, I'm gonna always have a sense of humor. Man, even before the pandemic, when I used to lead the meditation group, and I remember visiting a different group, and I started to we do this part where we just kind of share thoughts, and I started going into my little routine, and the guy was like, he was trying to be funny, but he wasn't. He started talking about, he said, hey, when is your next show? You know what I mean? Like I was doing comedy, which sometimes if y'all ever wonder what does Buddhist comedy sound like, you know what I mean? But to me, I'm always going to see the humor in things. So it was just humor, and I see it in everything. So, and sometimes I would just make up Buddhist jokes. But hey, that's how life should be. That's an internal feel good. Laughter. Oh, laughter produces endorphins too. Y'all, if you didn't know, you know what I mean? So it's a healing thing. So definitely like to laugh. So a lot of times y'all are hilarious. I was listening to a content creator, man, and oh my God. You ever see those people that know how to roast people, but they do it like in a quiet voice, and they just they'll say like the simplest things, but it's just so hilarious. See, and that's what I'm telling you. That's where humor really gets me. It's like when you can deliver the punchline and you don't have to add to it. I remember years ago when somebody asked this comedian, they said, and y'all know we got comedians around here. They said, hey, what's the difference between Richard Pryor and most of these comedians nowadays? And the comedian said, well, the difference is Richard Pryor never needed the punch. He never needed the curse word as a punchline. He said you could take all of the curse words out of Richard Pryor's comedy and it would still be funny. And I never really thought. I said true. Because then when I started listening to it, it's certain ones, I don't want to say their names, but Eddie Griffin, I don't want to say, but it's certain ones, like when they say it, it's like the curse word is the punchline, you know. And Richard was definitely exceptional. It was almost like he was telling you stories, and it was just funny. It was the drama that he used in telling the stories, which made him also a good actor, you know. And comedy, well, I'm going to talk about comedy from like the 95 to about, let's say, 2010. A lot of the black comedians, it was the same thing. It was always like, oh, we got beat with the racetrack. Oh, black people this, white people that, the white people this, the black people that. And it was just like, man, it just took me, which is why you have certain comedians like a Chris Rock who can stand in front of any audience and kill it. Dave Chappelle can go to any, you could put Dave Chappelle, like he went to Saudi Arabia, everybody was clowning him about Saudi Arabia. But the fact that you can go to Saudi Arabia and even rock a crowd says something. Because guess what? You can't go over there talking about, black people, they got beat with the racetrack, and the white people, they're going to look at you and go, ah. But the thing is, true gifted comedians can go, oh, Mike Epps. Mike Epps he's a natural fool. That's why Mike could tell a story about anything and it'll be funny. You know what's crazy? I like his movies more than I like his comedy. I don't know why. I like his conversation more than all two. Mike is more of the barbershop funny guy. Like he could kill, if you could give him a microphone just in the barbershop getting a haircut, he'll murder it every time. You know what I mean? Now lately though, his stand-up has definitely improved. Because at first, y'all all got that one guy in y'all family that's funny. He's king of the one-liners. He's a ride at the barbecue. You put that same guy, give him a microphone, throw him on stage at the Comedy Store, nobody's laughing. He's getting booed off stage. But Unc is so funny at the cookout. Yeah, that's at the cookout. It's an art to comedy. It's not as easy as it looks, you know. But definitely Richard Pryor, definitely classic. Even Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby never cursed, ever. And his comedy, like I said, again, he could stand in front of any audience. Godfrey Cambridge, these people, they used to do what they call working clean. You couldn't go into certain venues and do that. As a matter of fact, I remember a story. Richard Pryor was on the Flip Wilson show, and he went off on the audience. He was like, "You white effer this, that, and you think that a ninja this," and Flip Wilson took him to the side and said, "Hey, brother, what is you doing?" And he told Richard, he's like, "Man, look, this is an opportunity for us, man. This ain't we don't do that. We can't do that here. We got to build on this." He pulled him to the side because Richard was also, kind of apolitical. So, he wanted to get at that audience and tell them about themselves, or whatever. But Flip wasn't really with that. Same with Marlon Wayans. Marlon Wayans is also a complete fool. Funny? They all have different styles of comedy. Marlon, hey, you know what's funny? I just heard a story when Marlon did that Mr. Ugly Man, that Shaba impersonation, and I did not know Shaba was looking for him, running around LA, kept trying to time where he was going to be, and found him. And they said one time they was taping Living Color, and Shaba somehow showed up at the studio. I don't know how true this is, y'all. Please research, find out. And Shaba was like, "What, you taping something, idiot boy?" And Shaba was going to whip that ass. And if y'all know, like I know, Jamaican men, yo, gotta give it to them. They probably some of the proudest men on this planet. I'm talking about, boy, ain't nothing like a Jamaican dude, man. Love his heritage, love his culture, his manhood, boy. Definitely don't play with no Jamaican dude about his manhood, bro. That's a good way. That's an instant ass whipping. Like you just gonna catch it. So him even clowning Shaba was like, he wasn't seeing the humor in that. You know what I mean? He's like, yo, basically you're taking my art, you disrespecting my art, you disrespecting me, you're disrespecting my looks. So that's definitely an instant fade. Like we gotta get it on. There's no other way. You gotta catch these hands, is what it is. Now, Shaba, like I said at the time, was probably one of the biggest reggae dancehall artists in the world. And of course, he got on the one show over in the UK and they asked him about that lifestyle. And he said, well, I believe in Bible. I go by what they say in the Bible, and the man should not be with the man. I'm going to the Bible. So he said that, and then his career it was gone. Concerts canceled, everything shut down. See, these are some of those times, like I said. But see, while he may have lost millions and millions of dollars in his future career, again, I respect his principles and how he felt and how he lived his life between him and his God. And like I said, you ain't gonna put a Jamaican man on the microphone and think the Jamaican man is thinking about what millions of dollars. No, his principle is his principle. And he stood on that. And I cannot but respect. A lot of Caribbean dudes are like that. I can't but respect that. Now, sad to say, I ain't gonna say the next statement because I don't seem like I'm picking on the brothers. But sad to say, there's a lot of us brown people who will sell out, for a donut, a hot coffee, and 2 loose Newports. We don't give a damn. Principles be damned. We'll do anything, say anything for a buck. Because as a matter of fact, if you listen around here on BlackTube, that tends to be a lot of the rhetoric is like, I got these many members. You ain't getting no cash app. I got a cash app. I'm monetized. I'm this, I'm that. Everything is money, money, money. And then if we don't got the money, we lie about it. And then we will sell out. We will do anything for money. We will host anybody on our panel, on our chat. We will take our show in a direction where it shouldn't go. We will get behind people that we damn sure would not be behind in real life simply because they send us money. Again, I was thinking about that earlier. I said, damn, folks pay you money and then they tell you what to do. Or they gave you a couple of funky dollars. You ever notice how money has smells when you ask for it back? Anyway, so they give you a couple of funky dollars and then all of a sudden they own you. Now they want to control your content, which is why I keep going back to them, the Fed boys. They bought all the major networks. Now you can't even get real news anymore. And then so then we got these people called independent news networks. This is one guy I be listening to. His name is Paul Lance on YouTube. He's one of the realest. He always yelling at white. He's white, but he always yell at white people. He always yelling at them about, hey, how can y'all do this? And y'all ain't get behind the blacks now. Look at you. He always on that. But he called out on a recent video all of these so-called independent networks. He said, why you keep doing all this clickbait in the title? Talking about, this is the end for the president. No, it's not. And you got that same yellow and black font, and he says, the one content creator he called, he said, you getting $8,000 a month from which company? And he started breaking it down, talking about, because the independent creator was complaining about, I'm $45,000 views less than what I had last month. And he was basically ripping this guy a new one and telling him how they all fake. Like, y'all keep on coming in here with this clickbait. You keep running the same crap over and over. You're not producing anything. See, there's not a lot to report. It's just there's a lot of corruption. And you already hear about it. It's in the news cycle. There's nothing else to add to it. So what I'm trying to tell you is a lot of us on here on YouTube, I'm going to say now, we are, grifting. We're grifters. We'll say anything or do anything. You got a lot of people in here for shock value. They want, I got to say the most outrageous things, Most Jamaican men knew the foundation on which they come from, and they stand on that. Like I said, you ain't never lied, and so we'll do or say anything. We lack principle. And that whole shock jock stuff, like you running around like a Charleston White, always, you know what I'm saying? Always threatening people and saying, man, I remember one time, it was, what's the dude? The Andre Bonds, man. You played Stacy in the Wood. He played in a Lockdown. He played in a couple of hood movies. And he had went to jail. And mind you, he's an actor. He's from Watts. He went to jail, and he was like, man, he said, what's some of the problems you had in jail? He said, man, you know what? Ain't nobody mess with me. You know what I mean? He stood on his own as a lone wolf, they call him. You go to jail, he ain't in no gang. He wasn't from no gang. He said, man, everybody thought I was a blood because of that movie. He said, man, I was getting hit up left and right, But he stood on it. In jail, he did his time. He came home. Now while he was in there or whatever, the guy from Bosco, who's an actual blood, y'all might see him with his YouTube channel. He been on Vlad. He started talking about the man got tampered with when he was in it. He started talking all this won't. And dude ran up on him like he saw him. And he ran up on him. What's up? Yeah, what's up? You know, all that shit you da. You know, he came up, he a real dude. He came up on him. But I was like, man, nah, man, you know, I'm a shock jock, man. I'm a content creator. See, everybody ain't playing. And if especially you being in LA culture, Yolanda, what you mean you gonna catch it? You need to hit the panel. We supposed to be talking. You said you know, we was gonna anyway. So everybody ain't playing. And being a person from an actual gang, like you should know. I'm trying to understand how you're a gang member and you know you're a shock jock. Knowing that even saying the wrong thing in that town will get your head flown. You know what I mean? So dude ran up on him. But see, some dudes ain't gonna have a conversation with you. They just gonna run up and they gonna straight up put a couple speed knots on your head. They not even gonna sit there and be talking. So I ain't understanding this old shock jock stuff. And it's entertainment, you know. Nah, not as a career. But see, that's the thing, y'all. Ask yourself a question. Why these people out here shocking jocking, right, is what they doing. They shock jocking. Who's watching it? We're looking for the carnage. No, I don't want to see some one individual disrespecting Nipsey Hussle's death and running around just saying anything for attention. I do give it to Charleston. He did get in the boxing ring with a dude, but that's not the point. The point is that as a community, where they do that at, you know, because see, that's what we like to do. We get on here. Have you checked out Bandcamp yet? I downloaded the app. It's pretty cool. Bandcamp. I'm not familiar. BandLab. I use Cakewalk BandLab for all the songs I've been doing for the last several years. BandLab. Yeah, I do. Yeah, Yolanda. I use the full version. That's what I do all my songs with. Yeah. The one Speakeasy show was on. That was the BandLab, like the mobile app, which, like I told you the other day, we finally, instead of him sending me links, I just said, send me the link. You can send me the link to the app, and I can literally pull up the session in my computer. And then I can just add to what you're doing or download what you're doing. So yeah, it's pretty collaborative instrument there. Nice one. So yeah, so you know what? We run to that though. Like we'll get on here, we do that even on BlackTube. We do the shock jocking. You know, we're like, oh, I'm gonna say the most heinous things. I'm gonna be the most disrespectful. Talk about your kids, talk about the dead, talk about all these things. Stuff that would get you punched straight in your mouth in real life. And then soon as it gets hot, soon as the doxing starts and the things happening, we suddenly go, how could you do that to a black woman? How could you do that to a black man? How could we suddenly become the black community again? See, y'all, you got to make a decision. Either you're going to be the black community all the time, or you ain't going to be the black community none of the time. Now, let me tell you something. In the black community, right, people get up. They're hardworking. They're law-abiding citizens, and they have mutual respect and love for one another. Okay? And they also know how to roast. They know how to clown. We invented the dozens. Oh, funny, Paul Lance just popped up. Trump wouldn't rent to Wesley. Okay, something he put up about something. But anyway, we invented the dozens. Do you know how far back that the dozens go? Man, I got an old recording of a dude singing Delta Blues. It's a song called The Dozens. Matter of fact, it's the one in Color Purple when she sings, when Suge Avery is singing that one up-tempo song. When she say, and the hook is like, damn, how the hook go? And you, come on, man. As good as my memory is about The Color Purple, they want to say, because your papa is your cousin and your mama do the Lord, Lord. That one, that's called The Dozens. It's literally, if you find the original version of that song, the man is playing guitar and he's singing, he's rhyming. It's almost a rap. And he'll say something like to the effect of, I came over to your house. I ain't been back then. He said, I got with your sister, but she liked too many men. And then it's like you rhyme and then you say you go to the hook. And then the whole thing, your papa was your cousin, blah, 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 and your mama do the, so, and in other words, y'all, we know how to roast, we know how to clown, we know how to play the dozens. We've been doing your mama, everybody grew up on your mama, and whatchamacallit. So the thing is, here in BlackTube, it's a little different. It's not friendly. It's heinous. It's mean to be destructive. It's hurtful. It's painful. It's supposed to destroy. See, that's that evil negativity that I can't get with. But you made these diss songs. Sure did. But guess what? It's all about intention. You know what I mean? What you ain't gonna see me do. I'm not gonna I'm I'm not gonna do nothing, man, just to hurt you because I feel like it. Even if you said something to me, I'm not gonna necessarily retaliate. Matter of fact, in the times that I did retaliate, where somebody called me a name or said something, I'm just like, man, make a 3-minute song, make it funny. It's gotta be humorous. Answer them back, take something about them that's not as believable, exploit it, make it humorous, put it out, and then move the hell on. Not, I'm going to get on here for 2 hours and beat you up, and you're going to go to your channel, say something to me, and I'm going to come back to mine, say something to you. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So, again, we're boring over here. We talk about the issues and not the people. I understand who you are. I feel you. I understand where you're coming from. And I know why you demand absolute loyalty. It's easy enough to understand. But, hey, over here, we're looking to build, we're looking to be, we are the Black community. And we do have friends of the Black community. Because I see that, too. A lot of times the race card get pulled. Somebody that's in the conversation happens to be of a different culture, and the first thing you want to say as a shut, by the way, it's not really shutting them down, like, why you in Black folk business? Here's a question. You call this Black folk business? No, that's Black folks lunacy. That's Black folks ignorance. Now, Black folk business would be like, we sitting down having a discussion on how to build a grassroots organization to come up with reparation reform bills that we can kind of get through Congress. Now that's Black folk business. And by the way, if so happens a person happens to be outside of the community and they got something that we can find useful, then by all means they need to be a part of the conversation. You didn't do civil rights all by yourself. That you had some people there with you on the front line that weren't from your culture. They lost their lives. They got brutalized. Some people call them bleeding heart liberals, whatever shit. A body's a body. Hell, if you can drive the bus to the cafe, whatever you can do to help out, box up some lunches, do whatever. So it's a difference if you're here in the community and you're helping. But if you're here in the community just for destruction, now, I call the effery, to me, that's not really the community. So if any race want to come get in the effery, man, it is what it is. Now, that's not playing the dozens. You understand what I'm saying? Like, in other words, we stand on the street corner passing the 40 ounce and we doing the dozens, and then you some dude from across the tracks and decide to talk about your mama's so Black. Okay, you about to get an ass whipping because that's not funny. Your mama's so Black and you straight up ivory. So, it's limits to this, y'all. But please, let's stop getting Black all of a sudden and give each other a pass. So we already know, if you've ever took someone's and called them by their first name, called their jobs, reported their channel for no reason, sending false strikes, putting pictures of their loved ones, invading their social media. A lot of folks on BlackTube get into that. And actually, in a way, it's kind of sad because it's just like, damn. Matter of fact, there are whole sectors of YouTube that's based on controversy. Matter of fact, their name, not going to say it, their name literally means like arguments, opposition against one another. It's a term we use for that. It's a kind of meat. But anyway, that's the whole premise of that. And here it is, after 10 years of that, there ain't none of them that got any further than the other one. Channels have ended up with 100,000 subs down to 0, destroyed, not getting anywhere, just spinning wheels. You're on your 15th channel, ain't getting nowhere. You might have got what you got, money for a cheesesteak hoagie or something, or y'all, but we call them subs here, Louisiana poor boy, or whatever y'all call them, sandwich, whatever. But submarine. But hey, rock on. I don't want to sound preachy, like I'm telling you what to do, because again, everything has a purpose. There's a time and a place, and every part of Black Tube exists for a reason. But we're talking about building, y'all. We talking about doing some music. We talking about what's up, nephew, Kennard. I'm sorry, man. I know I done doxed you like 18 times. We was talking. I was listening to a clip, and it was talking about it was talking about slander in his race. And it's funny because he high yellow, light bright, and almost white. He's not Caucasian though, you know what I'm saying? But it was just funny how we've never seen him, but then there's this speculation. We gotta, because see, if we can make him a Caucasian, then it takes away the validity of everything he's ever said and done. You know what I mean? But, or for those that don't like him, or whatever. But the thing is, and then we find out, you look at him like they say, damn, yo, you light as hell with freckles. Like, oh my God, you know what I mean? His hair's curly, like, dude, you look Jewish, you like Drake Jr., you know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden it's like, well, it's okay, he can stay, you know what I mean? But truth is truth though. But he not on there, y'all. He ain't on there because he got warrants. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. I know I joke about him for camming up. I done made a whole song about him, like show your tone and all of that. But he got some cases pending, y'all. He can't get on here. Now, when he get all that behind him and get them the restitution and all that paid up and stuff, and he might just go ahead, once he get that behind him, get back in the church, like his mother was telling him, he'll probably come on and throw the camera on or something and do a little show from his 89 Caprice Classic with the dubs on it behind the Burger King. So definitely, you might see that. And we talked about that too. We talked about the whole phenomenon of cameras on and cameras off, and there was some content creators that had differences of opinions about that. And man, let me tell you, y'all know where mine is. I fit in one. I have one belief. That is, one, you have a right to your privacy. You do. Hey, don't turn that camera on. I can tell you, I could name 10 good reasons why you shouldn't turn it on, right? And I could name 10 other reasons. Well, check this out. You have a right to your privacy, right? But guess what? Other folks have a right to their privacy too. So guess what that means? That means if your camera's off and you're protecting your privacy, I respect that. But then you cannot throw somebody else up on the Summer Jam screen. You can't do that. Can't do it. You can't do it. It's not right. You know what I mean? How's so your privacy is more valuable than mine or the next person? No, you got to respect that. That's okay. Okay, you in the chat, you laughing at somebody, got all the acne. I get it. It's funny. It's humorous. So yeah, you have a right to your privacy. But you also, you cannot put other people's images up. You can't feed other people's images to different people, getting them to do your dirty work, right? You can't go pull up what you call public records. It's not public if it ain't here. It's public somewhere. You can't put that out and then you get to hide. It don't. No, you can't do both. But by all means, definitely leave your camera off. And sisters, definitely some of y'all leave your cameras off. On Fufu cammed up from the neck down. Boy, she had ninjas out here drinking Sprite, obeying their thirst. Okay? Obeying their thirst. Now, for your safety, now on Fufu's a married man, and Eddie owns a lot of guns, and PA is a open carry state. So, you can go looking up if you want to and show up. Matter of fact, she got a 380 in the purse right now, and a Glock 19. So I'm just saying on the waistband carry. So I'm just saying, some of you sisters, yeah, y'all might not, because you might end up with unwanted attention, or even dangerous attention, so protect yourself. Now, if you're confident in who you are and you can protect yourself and it's good to go, And if the rest of your identity is concealed, then you can turn your camera on if you feel like it. You can get on and do a little something. Yeah, I saw that. Hell, I saw the avatar. I saw your avatar. Your avatar, Miss Murph's avatar has its own fan club. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, some of us, some on Fufu, some of us just ain't been out in the world. We ain't really seen that. We don't know how to come at the sisters and talk to the sisters. We see a little something. And come on, at this age, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, all that glitter's not gold. You know what I'm saying? At this point, see, we back before I got right with the Lord, I used to chase tail. That's what Flip Wilson said in what's that, Uptown Saturday Night. Or whatever. So again, I understand, some of y'all is stacked. Some of y'all thick as zoo glass out here. So yeah, no doubt. So you're gonna get the attention. Now, some sisters and want the attention, whatever. Like, you look on YouTube. Why am I looking on YouTube? Okay, this lady said she calls herself Chef something. Why'd you got boy shorts with the cheeks out and the bikini top on? Come on, come on, yo. Is I'm really gonna learn how to make quesadillas from this broad? Why am I here? You know what I'm saying? They're there because like that. Hey, and it's always the thumbnail. Matter of fact, nowadays they'll say actors you haven't seen since the 70s, and then they'll say, where are they now? And then it'll show you a picture of the actress heavy set, and she got like these double D's with all this cleavage, and you're supposed to click. I might see that. Let me click on it. Like, come on, man. Yo, it's funny. That's just more the manipulation. But hey, I understand. Everything now is just like, it's just every video, no matter what it is, Bible study is like cleavage. It's just like, I don't know, man. I'm becoming desensitized to it. It's almost like, where's that chick with that turtleneck? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So definitely, man, do what you got to do. But hey, now as far as speaking on someone looks while you're hiding, I would say that's also a violation. I say keep that to yourself. Whatever. Unless it's a celebrity, somebody in the general public. But I mean, by all means, as far as I'm concerned, if you are protecting your identity and your privacy, you should absolutely, ultimately respect everyone else's. That means you don't get to talk about where I work. You don't get to say my kids' names. You don't get to put my image up. You don't get to comment on my image. You don't get to do any of that. No, because we are respecting each other, right? We're respecting the privacy. Some of us don't even speak on a microphone. Now, I know my homegirl here, Lana, she said, man, I got this voice, that'll shatter glass. Hey, I feel I feel you. I feel you on that. You ain't got to speak. Long as you can type, we can read it. It's all good. So no, it's not now I know I was all talking this. Cameras on in 2026. I was talking that. I was more so directing that to the content creators that talk the most trash. I'm like, come on, it's your turn. And some of us have actually been drugged in front of the camera and given a national debut without us wanting it to happen, and it just happened. And then we sometimes, we just, that ain't me. I don't know who that is. I don't know nothing. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's just respect each other. See, the thing is, what we like to do, we like to. Oh, you know what? He was reading my mind. Ain't no respect around here. He ain't never lied. I hope that we can respect each other in the boring broadcast system. We respect. Excuse me. We respect one another. Now, of course, BlackTube itself is built on the premise of no respect, disrespect, lack of respect. I don't know, y'all. BlackTube is what it is. I'm here every day. I'm listening. Some of the back and forth I can listen to. Some of it I cannot. But ultimately, I always ask, where is it going? What is that one line that you're going to say? That one line that you're going to say is going to be so hurtful that you make that content creator turn off their mic forever. Well, here's the thing. Even if I could tell you what that line is and what to say, well, if you said it, they would go away forever. They wouldn't come back on here again. And guess what? Then what would you do? Find another target? And then what happens when you hit their magic phrase, Mitzelplick? Then what? They disappear. And then what? Find another target. And then they disappear. Find another target. Eventually, you'll be standing in a sector by yourself. So there is the yin and there's the yang. You both exist mutually to create this synergistic relationship that makes it possible for you to come here every day and do what you do. Okay, so far so good, but here comes Chat, here comes the twin. I don't know, bro. I think they might be just watching what you're watching, your algorithm, because sub and interact with many black channels with zero drama, just topic focus. Bro, I feel you. I need to get more into those. I need to find more of those. And that's the funny thing. I have thyroid disease and I have to save my voice. I don't want to irritate those nodes and they become cancerous. Hey, you know what, baby girl? Definitely protect yourself. I thought, and I misunderstood you the first time. My apology. I thought you were saying something about you had a shrill voice. But yeah, definitely. Definitely keep yourself safe. So yeah, I noticed something when I click on things. If I click on like black women having political discussions, I watched one the other day. It was a group of conservative black women versus a group of liberal black women. Honestly, I wasn't impressed by it because the conservative black women didn't seem to have a lot of knowledge into things, which I was like, I was revved up to hear this conversation, because I like stuff like that. It's very funny to me because if we expand this to the wider world of YouTube, so many creators don't speak, don't cam up, and don't even live stream. The sectors are a whole nother beast. You know what, though? Don't y'all like how I just changed subjects on a dime? You know what, though, Yolanda? You're right. And you're right. We maybe we should judge it by the whole social media and not just this section. But this section of BlackTube has its own rules, though. It's operating in a different way under a different set of physical laws, I would say. So it's like what Brother G said. How can you roast me, but I can't roast you because I can't see you? So there was a wise woman that said this is a roasting sector. So it doesn't work very well if it's 100 people in a roasting. I'm saying, for instance, if it's a roasting sector, 100 people and only 50 of them you have access to, then that means the other 50 always wins. You know what I mean? I watched two dudes do a roasting panel and one of them virtually was unseen. And it was like, what are we doing? So, again, I guess we have to decide. I guess as a group, you would have to decide how you're going to proceed. But I'm gonna leave the whole camera thing alone. I'm just gonna say, in this world, ladies, especially talking to the ladies, definitely if you got the curves and you got all the stuff, man, you might just want to keep that under wraps. You might, because we got some fools on here that have pulled up, have shown up across state lines, and things happen. Like say, protect yourself, protect your family. Don't do it. And it's a shame. You should be able to be gorgeous and be able to just get on here and not worry about the harassment, not worry about you know what I'm saying? I used to have this homeboy, I swear to God, every time he talked to women and every time he would lie, he would talk in this Michael Jackson voice. And we used to laugh. We would all be laughing hilariously. He would think that we were laughing at him being funny, but we wasn't. We was like, we knew that Remo was doing that. Yeah, because my uncle, he went to Korea. He was there for like 3 years and he brought back these German shepherds. They were police dogs and they were very trained, and he would yell a command in Korean and they would go circle a baby's crib and all of a sudden, and they would bark when an intruder came in, and he would just yell another thing in Korean, and they would go in there and make him a tuna sandwich and bring him a glass of grape Kool-Aid. And I would just be like, first of all, you ain't bringing no dogs home from the army. That's not going to happen. There's a book called The Five Bloods, and there was a guy, they had this bomb-sniffing dog that was with them in their platoon. And this dog, I mean, he would find all the booby traps. This dog was phenomenal. And this man fell in love with this dog, and he tried to take the dog home, and the military was like, nope. And he said, please, he begged them. Like they was like, nope, I'll buy, I'll pay, I'll do anything. And most likely what they were going to do is the animal would be destroyed. Basically, I guess somebody can't use them against us. And so like that, so I knew my homeboy was lying, but it was just funny though. Listen to him talk about these police dogs taking Korean commands. And he tells some whoppers. I tried to find him in recent years. He said, I'm gonna call you, but he never did. I wanted to hear some more of those fantastic stories. I remember he would come home because I was stationed in DC. So he would come home with me sometimes. And one time we went to the club. It was a club called Odell's here. And man, it was so funny. He called me, he said, yo, he said, man, go pull a car around. I got us a couple of shorties. Go pull a car around. Man, I got all excited. It's like 3 a.m. I go pull a car around front. It was his car. I ain't had no license, didn't need it. Pull the car around front, man. And he come out with these 2 moon dogs, yo. I was like, no. I'm like, yo, where was they in the club? I didn't see them. Oh, man. So just so happens the girl that he was with, she was as big of a liar as he was. And one day, because he used to pop up at my mom's house, right? Just randomly. Like he'll pop up over there and he brought the girl with him. And my mother called me. She said, man, Remo and he brought his new girlfriend over here. And they sat in the living room, lied to me for 4 hours straight with this girl. But yo, anyway, that's a match made in heaven, man. So if you lie a lot, on here, get you a girl that lie a lot. If you on here and you on here every day with no life, man. There's plenty of bras on here every day with no life, man. Cop you one of them bras, man. Go see her. But anyway, yo, what we gonna do today? Oh, dang, yo, time done slipped by. I've been babbling for over 2 hours. Yo, this is ridiculous. I couldn't possibly have that much to say. Why is it so bad? Not the norm in the pocket of YT is normal everywhere. I don't know why people think people must argue, must can up, or must do this or that. Yeah, around here, Yolanda, this is the last thing I'll say on the cam thing. Around here, it's not because we're intrigued they're intrigued because they want to know what you look like. No, it's more so they want something. He said half a live stream, hilarious. They want something to attack you about. They want something to exploit. That's the only reason they want to see you. And it's sad. I wonder like sometimes I wonder, what do y'all look like? Or, what do you, like, what is your lifestyle really like? Sometimes you wonder, these people, some of y'all a bit of a mystery. You just want to know. You're curious about it, but not to the point of like, oh my God, if you don't cam up, I'm going to die, And, I get it. Some of you ladies, you put out similar looking avatars and I can see by that. I'm like, nah, you might not. Don't come on here. Don't come on here. Your viewers count is going to go up. And then here go the DMs with the good morning, beautiful. I mean, come on, bro. Really? Get a new line. Get a new line. And if you're going to court these sisters, man, hey, come with the big guns. Like, yo, straight, just come at them like a man. Straight up, just tell her, hey. But see, it's hypocritical that if you only find her interested now that she turned that camera on and you're like, oh, why am? Oh my God, nah, I don't like her now. Nah, you all them disses you was throwing. You ain't know she was intelligent and talented by the things she was doing. Now, if you would have stepped to her then and said, hey, you know what, you seem pretty interesting. You think maybe we could talk on the side offline sometime and collaborate. See, that's how you say collaborate. And then, y'all get to talking. And then next thing you know, the conversation drifts off topic. And now you're getting to know her. She getting to know you. You still ain't seen it yet. And then eventually she going to say, I guess you wonder what I look like. And she going to send you the picture. And you're going to be like, damn, 10 and a half. Jackpot. And you already done got into her mind. And you know her mind, and now she knows you, and she know your intentions were pure. And guess what? You got the bonus prize. Now, this is the part where y'all plan a little meetup in a mutual city. Boom, you go to hang out, and guess what? You find out that in person, her personality is totally horrible. You two are so not a match, and you're disgusted. You go home after spending about $1,500, or you're completely in tune. She's a Scorpio. You're a Libra with Virgo rising and the stars aligned. And then you fall deeply in love and you and YM go start your couples cooking channel and you make a whole bunch of money and have some little sector kids running around the house now and live happily ever after. It could happen. I have hope. But anyway, she said good story. What do you think about all the demonic imagery being used around the sector? Oh wow. You know what? I don't really have an opinion on that. You know what's funny? I must not. I didn't really tune into a lot of it. But to be quite honest with you, as I wrap up here, because I think I want to go to the Amish market today. Man, I'm tell you something. It's this Amish market, man. They got all the food. Oh my God. Yo, best food. Man, they make sub sandwiches. I yo, it's so much meat on that thing. I said, yo, if y'all had, now mind they do it on the weekends. I said, if y'all had one of these shops in the city doing this, y'all would put every one of them out of business. But man, when you say demonic um imagery being used, well, I'm gonna say I see a lot of that. I'm gonna talk about BlackTube because y'all know we don't do the whole well, we don't name the names, but I will say on BlackTube I see a lot of that. But then I start to wonder because there are a lot of people on BlackTube who pride themselves on hurting people, pride themselves on like exploiting people, you know. It's a very dark place. Very dark. It's grown darker over the years. There's no light. People here are not happy people. They don't wake up with the premise of, hey, how can I turn on the mic and how can I make somebody smile? How can I make somebody laugh? They're like, no, I'm here for the repetitious carnage. You can't say why. And I can go, and by the way, y'all, this is not your little space. I'm not saying BlackTube, I'm talking about all of it. I'm talking about this sector, the conscious sector, the beef sector, the black sector, the oh my God, there's several on BlackTube. And it's funny because it seems to be with this new phenomenon, like even comedians now, you got comedians at war with each other, beefing with each other. Why? Aren't you supposed to be funny people? I'm not interested how people look in the side pages of what they say, because if you're a liar, then what you look like, I know. Exactly. Yeah, AI gives an infinite set of possibilities, and folks choose darkness over light, flames and horned figures and upside down crosses and whatnot. Yo, I would say that it has a deeper significance and meaning to it, whereas the people, in other words, the true colors are showing. The same way I said the government now has the corruption out on Front Street. They're not hiding it from you anymore. The vice president says we don't have to be scared to be white. Like they're basically, hey, what you thought, maybe they're not racist. Yeah, it's out there. So again, when I talk about a certain type of people, when I say I understand you, I know why you are who you are. That also, it also means that while I do understand why you are, I'm not saying I agree with you. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that you're here. Matter of fact, I'll speak on that as I wrap it up. You came into this place, BlackTube, because you needed somewhere to do your work. You wanted to be popular. You wanted to hurt people. You found a place where you could just simply come in, unseen, unheard, and drop a name of a person that may have been revered or had some level of popularity. And because you could go against them, you instantly gained 20 people who also did not like that person. And you took that and you ran with it. And you built the whole channel behind it. But then, if you notice during your evolution, that person you attacked, you became friends with, then you weren't friends with, then you became friends with, then you weren't friends with. See, that's that carousel of insanity that I used to talk about that goes on. You're not here for entertainment. You're not here to help people. You're not here to promote. You're not here for fellowship. Your intentions are negative. It is evil. It is showing. The symbols are out there. You're revealing yourself slowly. You criticize, you tear down. Anyone that's being productive, anyone that comes up with something original, you're the first one to shoot it down, and you produce nothing. What you do is simply yell into your mic to your imaginary friends as though somehow they hear you and somehow you're healed when you're not. Or you shout down anybody that can speak or articulate or have some intelligence or something going on in their lives. I asked to all the professionals here, how do you sit around and just let yourself be a target of these people who they're nowhere in life where you are? And I don't all the time want to be nice and sugarcoat it. They ain't shit. Is basically what I'm saying. And here it is. You're there being their target. They're telling you about your accolades, your degrees, your accomplishments mean nothing, and you sit there and you support them daily. Or they're out here just engaging in all kind of negativity, bullshit, tearing down your actual community, but you over there worshiping them like it's some kind of religion. Undying support. Welcome, Lisa Stocks, my financial home girl. She's also in the business. Lisa, I love your content. So you support them undying. Now, here's the thing, y'all. I'm going to say this to all you married folks. You lay in the bed every day with somebody. That man, your husband, should be getting your undying support, your loyalty, your revenue. You understand? And same thing, fellas. Your wife, that's your queen right there. That's the one that's you ain't no, hey, don't be drooling over nothing on here. Drool over that. That's the one you should be supporting. You up in the middle of the night, she in the bed. She up there, a cold coming on. She in sweats. Who up there? You supposed to be up there to turn the fan on, but you down here arguing. You down here pitting one woman against another woman. And I ain't even gonna get on the whole you men always in the middle. You know what? I'm gonna say this and y'all can take it. Please print this. The problem with most of the women here that they're having is always some man in the middle of it, fanning the flames, behind the scenes. Go ahead, girl, pushing the narratives. It's always some man. Why is you speaking on women's business? Why is you in the middle of women's business? Why is you cussing these women out, demanding loyalty, servitude? Really though? And you know what? You a silly ass broad if you fall for it. I mean, women been falling for the tricks of these clowns, these clown men since the beginning of time. That's why pimps and hoes exist. And women say, I can't believe a woman selling her body and giving a man all the money. I can't believe a woman on here giving up her hard-earned cash app to a bum with no job and giving him undying loyalty. I can't understand that. Same mechanism. Except the hoe out on the street got on stilettos and a miniskirt, but she know where her job is, and you don't. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Welcome, Josephine, the pussycat, Josephine with the collard greens, with the red dry pepper seasoning. Got that bite to it. Y'all know, if y'all ever had Josephine's cooking, I'm going to tell you something, the sister can burn. Now, don't ask me how I know what it tastes like, but I just do. All right? So anyway, man, I'm about to get the day started because it's 10:40. Now, I could be ready by 11 o'clock, but I didn't even text upstairs to say, hey, start getting it together so we can roll out. So we're going to be getting out of here by 1:45. But I did have a good time coming here and talking to y'all for over 2 hours. No reviews, no clips, no music, none of the additives or anything else. And no shade to that, y'all, because like I said, most of what we do is review. Matter of fact, YouTube is all about reviews. A lot of that, reviews and reactions, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it all. But if you're going to review, man, review something on a national level. I would love to see people's opinions on other things rather than what each other said. That, man, oh my God. Come on, y'all. Pull up something, a national ad, anything. Give me your opinion. I give y'all my opinion. I just don't play the ads. You understand what I'm saying? But I do thank you for coming out, and I hope you enjoyed my boring intro. That's me singing or humming box air on the G string. Y'all know that's one of my favorite pieces. And your sisters probably walked down the aisle to that when you got married, because you was all classy and you're white, even though, you were not pure. And if you rated your dress color by your purity, it would have been a dark brown. But we're not going to talk about that. I'm just joking. Sisters. Y'all know y'all all pure to me. But anyway, I thank you for coming out. Josie, I wish you were here earlier. I thank you all for coming out, man. I hope that my boring installment kept you a little interested for the time. And I leave you with words of peace and tranquility. Namaste.